Let's move on the issue of, Dani, of what's happening in America and the kind of framing we need. You've come with absolute clarity from Cambridge, Massachusetts, another center of the world, which is at the heart of American thinking. What message do you come with about the clarity and the sureness of what is happening in Washington and the messages being sent internationally?
Well, you know, one thing we've learned, those of us living in Cambridge, Massachusetts, that we actually couldn't be further away from the United States. So I'm not sure I'm the right person on that. But I think clearly Trump is a phenomenon, and what can I say more than that? But I think we must not exaggerate the importance of Trump. I think there are important structural problems of the world economy, the competition between a rising economic and political power and established powers, that we're moving into a multipolar world. And there's a broad-based reaction to the kind of economic policies that have been pursued in the last quarter century. I think Trump is very much a symptom of this. He's not the cause. So I think we need to bear in mind that whether Trump was the president of the United States or not, in many ways would be facing these tensions, and we need to confront them. Unfortunately, of course, Trump isn't making it easy for us because of the crazy way in which he's managing it. There's both an upside and a downside with respect to Trump. I mean, I don't need to tell you about the downside.
But I should say that he doesn't think what he's doing is crazy. He thinks it's totally logical.
Well, you know, it's when you have people who are sort of, you know, closest to him, working with him day in, day out, writing op-eds in the New York Times anonymously, explaining how, in fact, inconsistent, incoherent, and divorced from the truth he is. It's very hard to believe that objectively. But I think the upside of that is that, you know, Trump has instincts, but he doesn't really have long-term strategy. So I think if you want to think about this, for example, in terms of the trade war, clearly Trump has mercantilist and unilateralist instincts. Mercantilism means exports are good, imports are bad. It means whatever is good for me must be bad for you, and vice versa. And unilateralism means I'm going to do it on my own. So those are his basic instincts. On the other hand, he just, you know, he's not the kind of person who has a follow-through. So, you know, he can be easily diverted. So I think he can very easily walk away from, you know, claiming victory, whatever the facts on the ground is. So I think, you know, China actually is going to be quite successful at managing this. And if I were to look at sort of what are the biggest risk points for the world economy in the next 5 years or so, I wouldn't list trade war in the top three of those. I think there are much more serious problems. And we'll get through this. And it's certainly not going to, it's going to be ugly, but nothing like, anything like the 1930s.
Can you predict 5 years? They have to make business plans.
Well, you know, I think, you know, it was John Kenneth Galbraith who said that, you know, well-created economists to make astrologers look good. So